Hi, this is Secretary Boundary, where I do predictions of the future. If you'd like me to do prediction for you, let me know in the comments below. Just make sure that you say if you like a tarot card reading, a pendulum reading, or a flame reading. Just a reminder, we do lives here on Saturdays and Sundays at 10 a.m. Central and Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. Central. So make sure you mark it down on your calendar. And let's continue with the show. Card of the day. Okay, just waiting for more people to show up onto the chat. Okay, this is from the Universe Has Your Back deck. The card says, the moment I realign, learning English today, with love, clear direction is presented to me. So there you go. Very nice card. Looks an interesting picture. Okay. Very nice artwork. There you go. So let's get into some of the questions from previous show before we get into the main topic of today's show. We got Anne. Hello, Anne and Bob. Let's look at Epic Coin. Now, so far, it looks like Epic Coin is not so epic. So, I believe I've done readings on this one previously, and it seems to be okay overall. I don't think it's going to be a big cryptocurrency in the future. Okay, it's a short-term hold, but not really a long-term hold overall. The health of this particular cryptocurrency moving forward, I think there's going to be some issue with some of the black cat situation going on. I think it's connected in some way with nefarious people, which a lot of cryptos are, by the way. I'm believing it's going to have a moment in time where it's not going to be doing so well. Okay. It could be interference from those particular people, or they're part of it. I'm not quite sure what I'm picking up about that, but I do believe that they're going to be involved in that particular cryptocurrency moving forward. The price, I think, is going to be quite good in the very beginning of this particular year, but kind of dwindles after quite some time. By the end of the year, I think people are going to be walking away from this one in favor of other cryptocurrencies that are going to be popping up like crazy as we move along into the new year, and with all the wonderful things happening in our financial world out there. And we won't get into too much detail about everything going on, but things are happening. We'll just say that. The people that are involved in this are going to be mainly looking at the negative aspects of this particular project moving forward. And there's going to be some regulations and things like that moving behind the scenes. So it could be attached to those black hat personnel, the elites. Okay, so I'm thinking this cryptocurrency is going to be having a hard time for the next year. So in 2023, it's going to have a real uphill battle for the next little while. Okay, so let's get into the next one. Eating meat. Now, somebody had asked me if eating meat is has any negative connotations on karma. Okay. I don't believe it does. There are some people in the world that do believe that this is true, but me personally, I don't believe eating meat is something that is going to be affecting your karma. That's getting into a subject matter that it's a difference of religious belief. Okay. Eating meat for myself and probably my wife is nothing bad. Okay. You could even say the same thing about vegetables. Yeah. They do have a life force of their own. So if you really dug down deep, you wouldn't be able to eat anything except for maybe cardboard or something like that. But
That's a tree.
what's that?
That would be a tree.
That would be a tree. Okay. So, uh, so there wouldn't be much to eat. Maybe dirt, I guess. So, so eating meat, me personally, I do not believe that it has any connotations to karma or any negative effect spiritually. There are some religions in India that actually do believe in that. They actually go so far as to sweep the ground in front of them in case they step on a bug or something, and they don't want to do that. They wear masks all the time so they don't accidentally swallow a bug or something like that. So that would be the extreme of that sort of belief. And then there's way to the other side, but me and the wife are more to the middle area with many of the people that I know. Okay, so hopefully that answers that question. The time of awakening. Somebody was asking, when will people start to wake up? And this is to do with many of the things that are happening right now. Okay, and what had happened in the last 2 years, and I think we don't really need to get into uh, what has been happening in the last 2 years. Okay, people are waking up. Okay, um, and this is the time of awakening. Through this time, a lot of people are going to be very distraught because now that the truths that they were told for so long and that they believed for so long are going to be turning out to be false. Okay. So this is going to be very troubling to many of the people that are out there that are just getting into the awakening part. Nobody said the time of awakening was going to be fun or easy or anything like that. But now we're going to have these masses of people that are going to be waking up to the actual reality of things going on. More and more news coverage is coming out about and how it's actually giving people heart situations and blood situations. Um, and it's coming out more and more. So this is really disrupting the people that were true believers in the whole scenario that was going on for the last 2 years. So when you look around, okay, with the people with the mask still on, they're probably having a really hard time adjusting to the truth. And they don't want to believe the truth because they're so into the fear. They love the fear, which is weird. Okay. But people thrive on the fear and it gives them some type of purpose and some type of uh, focus in their life. Okay. Um, yeah, me personally, going to work and all that sort of thing, I am noticing people are having a really hard time adjusting to the truth. Okay. And I guess for everybody that's out there that has people like that around them, uh, try to treat them with kid gloves for the next little while because it's going to take them a long time to readjust themselves. Okay, so give them love, give them some white light. Uh, Probably a lot of those people were negative to many of us that were on the other side. So we're going to have to learn some forgiveness, which is going to be one of the big topics that we're going to be going through uh, in the middle of the show. So not forgetting what they did, but also not, but getting into that forgiveness because they didn't know any better than all that sort of thing. And we got to move on from this and allow them to learn the lesson. Okay. Every time we come back here to this plane of existence, we are assigned lessons that we have to learn. Okay. It's all planned out for you, or you planned it out for yourself. You chose to go through this whole scenario that you are going through at this moment in time. It's all about learning those lessons here on this plane because we have adversity. Okay. On the other side, there's no adversity. So it's really hard to learn some of those lessons when nothing goes wrong. Okay. They change to ask all the people who passed from did they choose to leave as from their Yes. Everything that happens to you is part of your contract. But you still have free will. Okay. So it may have been in my contract to pass away from the jab, but I chose not to. So I might have to come back and learn the lesson again and all that sort of thing. So, or it's your contract to learn from that situation and to help other people with that. Okay. It's in a very interesting time right now, the Great Awakening. A lot more people, the elites, the evil people who they themselves chose to have this lesson, teach us this lesson to all of us. And that's it. Without that, you wouldn't need the Great Awakening, right? So if the elites weren't doing all the bad things that they've been doing to teach us the lesson, and without that, we wouldn't have the Great Awakening. Think of that. Okay? So, it's going to be a very interesting couple of years as everybody goes through this process of the time of the awakening. Okay, so hopefully that answers some of those questions. A lot of those people that were pushing, I think there's going to be a big karma coming back to them, and then they're going to have to come back and relearn that lesson themselves. Okay. So hopefully that answers that question. For praying. Affirmations. Thank you. Now, this is our secret weapon. Okay. We all know a lot of things are going wrong in the planet. We don't have to spend hours and hours talking about all the nasty things that are going on around us on the planet. We as spiritual beings, and I'm assuming a lot of you that are watching today are spiritual, maybe religious. That's okay too. That we have this superpower of affirmations. Okay. Now, I've mentioned it many, many times before, and probably I said it once in this video already as using white light. Okay. Now, most of us, unfortunately, for the last 2 years, have been in fear mode. Okay. Fear if the police are going to take us and put us in a concentration camp and force us to take a jab, all that sort of thing. We have to remember to not live in fear. And this is very difficult, but it's a great lesson that we have to all learn. Okay. And through affirmations, you can use that white light to change situations that you let the universe change that situation. So if you see something on the news and that's not right, okay, you can always surround that situation with a white light, and the universe will start to sort it out. And when there's enough of us, okay, doing the same thing, every time you see the news, there's something negative. Bob Job, watches his news, he sees the financial systems collapsing. Okay, right? We're all watching Europe go through some really rough times financially. You can wrap that entire situation with white light, which would be a type of affirmation. Okay? All psychic work is, if you remember class from a couple shows ago, intention. Okay? What is the intention that you want to have happened from these situations that you keep seeing? Okay? Not to live in the fear, but to change that fear with that white light and change your feelings inside that you have of that particular situation. Okay? Could be the jab, could be this banking system collapsing. What you will notice when you do affirmations, okay, these are all, or praying. That was my original title for today's video, is the power of prayer. But yeah, I think it's a little bit more. Prayer still works, okay, because it's a type of affirmation, right? It's all about intention. Okay, when you have the intention and you use the white light to create the things that you want, and then you take the actions, okay, and you connect to source, you can start to change the universe. Allow, proper speaking now, allow the universe to change that particular situation in a more positive direction. Okay? So with affirmations, you can start to create the world that you want to see around you. And you'll notice the universe will start to put monkey wrenches into the plans of the elites. Just not elites, but the World Economic Forum guys like Trudeau and Biden and all that. And they have this thing that they want to achieve, and now all these things are impeding them. That's universe coming in and around way of starting to expose it. Once it's more exposed to the light, any darkness that reaches the light shrivels up and wanders off. And that's what we're noticing right now. Trudeau has been asked to put his resignation in. Okay. That wasn't a thing not that long ago. Okay. More and more politicians are starting to be exposed for the evil that they are, or the perception of evil that we noticed. Okay. And Wes exposing them, putting our intention out there. Okay. All magic, all psychic work, all prayer, all witchcraft is based on intention. Okay. And once you put that energy of the white light around it, it starts to change form. It's even better when you allow the universe to do its thing, and it would change it in a way that they cannot proceed any further. Okay? Make sure you never put any negative energy mixed in with that. Just pure white light. And think of the thing that you would like to see. Remember, I did not that long ago about law of attraction. Don't think of the things that you do not want. Only think of the things that you do want, because the universe doesn't understand. It doesn't know the word, I do not want this. Okay. All it's here's, oh, you want that. Okay. We'll give you that. Now, if we all start thinking of the things that we do want, okay, and take that negative stuff and crumple it up and burn it, the universe will start to give everybody that. Okay. So the amazing power of affirmations tied with the law of attraction, law of action, many of the other universal laws, plus white light can be very, very powerful in the power of intention. Okay. Any questions before we move on? About this. What's that?
I didn't see any on affirmations.
Nothing on affirmations? I like a laugh. Okay.
They're having a conversation themselves.
They're having a conversation all by themselves. They're being social on the social network. What? You can't do that. Yeah, you can. So let's move on if there's no other questions about the affirmations and how you can use them in your life for everybody's good. Okay, hopefully you're going to be doing your homework for Sunday. As the wife put on our website, go look at secondreadingsbyonder.com. She was doing some work today. This looks good. Got your healing page on there now. So if you like to like a personal healing from the wife, who's a Reiki master and all that wonderful stuff, it's on the website now. So go have a look at secondreadingsbyonder.com. Now for Sunday's homework, we got our remote viewing for Sunday. Excuse me. If you are new here, okay, we do remote viewing training practice on Sunday show. So what you're going to do is you're going to write down the reverse camera. Always buggers me up. You're going to write down the target number, which is KUXU3057. Okay, and you're going to put that at the top of a fresh, clean piece of paper. And Caesar's in our Amazon box. We got an Amazon order today, and the wife leaves out the boxes for them so they can play. The cats, by the way. So you're going to put that at the top of your page, and you're going to describe the target. Okay? Don't label it. Don't say it's the wolf picture there. If you do label it, that's known as an analytical overlay. You can draw it. If you're good at, well, you don't have to be good at drawing. Just draw the things that you feel from your inner self of what the object is. Okay? So you're going to be describing the target. So you're going to be describing the colors, the shape, the size. What is it? Small? Is it big? Is it bigger in the bread box? That sort of thing. You're going to describe the smells, the taste, the texture. Is it smooth? Is it rough? Is it slimy? Maybe. So go through all the things and don't think about it so much. Just focus on the target number and think of all the things that pertain to that target number. So you're just going to be boop, 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 boop. Don't think about it. Just spit it out. Okay, every time. Okay. I know Super Little Guy. He says he likes to wait for the show, and that's okay too. But while we're doing it, just draw those pictures. Write out the things that you pick up do not think so much about it and don't overthink it. Okay? Once you overthink something, it's usually wrong. Drawing is a part of remote viewing. I know a couple of remote viewers, they love doing the drawings. They'll draw the shape of the target, um, circles, squares, that sort of thing. They'll draw scenes that they see. It's a crowd, and they'll draw a little crowd and what they're doing, um, that sort of thing. So that's this Sunday. Okay, so get your homework done, or you just join us and we'll have some good old fun. Okay, let's get to the chat. Woohoo! Is Ka Coin ready to bull run? Super Whittle Guy says, I do. Are we getting married? So make sure we got lots of questions for today's show. We got a little while left, a little over a half hour, I see by the clock. So let's have a look at Coin. This was it was on the chat thing before, and we're going, Ka. So, I've never heard of this one, so. Oh boy. Some not so great cards that came up for this one, especially this one. Not knowing anything about this particular cryptocurrency, I don't think it's going to be. It could be a short-term hold where you're going to be making some pretty good money in the very beginning of it. As time moves on, I think. So I guess it would be part of your question for the bull run. I think it'll do okay during the bull run, but after that, I think it's going to be forgotten, and people are going to be moving on to other things. People are involved in they're going to get very, very rich, really. Well, I don't know about rich, but they're going to have some wealth come in because of this particular coin, but it's going to be for a short time. So buy it, get in, wait for it to go up, sell. Okay, it's going to be one of those particular cryptocurrencies. So it's a short-term hold. Okay. And go about 15-20%, then sell. Okay, because it's probably going to go. For some reason, the people that are involved in this particular cryptocurrency that don't seem to have the right mix of people to keep it moving forward. Could be a good project, good programming and all that sort of thing, but I'm picking up that people that they have on their team may not be the best. That happens, actually. We've known a few cryptocurrency programmers, and there's some interesting things that go on behind the scenes. Okay. So this one, to answer your question, I think it's going to do okay with the new bull run coming up very, very soon. But after that, I think it's going to be dying off very quickly after that. Okay. So hopefully that helps you out. Super Bowl predictions. We did that last show. What was it? Orange and what's that?
Red and green.
Red and green.
Green's gonna win.
Green's gonna win. Don't know much about the Super Bowl teams, American football.
I have no idea.
We have no idea, but we did see the two colors. It's the red and the green is gonna win. So whatever that means to you, being a football fan and for the Super Bowl, look around. It's their uniform, I guess. Green. It's not Dallas, then. I think they're all silver. That's all I know.
Paul says Chiefs and Eagles.
Chiefs and Eagles. So that's who's playing?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Could be.
Could be. So green for go. Okay. There you go. Hi, 3 cards on whether BTC is going to 35,000 US by February, March. It's almost that here in Canada. Just move to Canada. We're already at 31,000. What is that in American? 31,000 Canadian is probably 28 in American. Something like that. So it's February, March. For some reason, there's going to be some confusion going along. So the market will probably do a whole bunch of this because there's probably something going on within the market. Probably some type of news coming out that's going to be holding it back for a little while. And after all that silliness, I'll show you the card. That's the confusion card. Nobody knows what's up, what's down, what's sideways. So this is going to be what's happening in that particular February, March. So there could be some thing that happens that derails it for a short period of time. And then we got the Knight of Wands. So a lot of hard work to get it back up. And it's going to be very, very swift. Okay. So probably in that time span, it's going to come down a little bit. Okay. But it's still going to get to that 35,000 US in the next couple months. Something I don't really worry too much about. We already know that Bitcoin is going to win. And a lot of things are going to be changing around the world. Oh, yes. Saudi Arabia the other day. They're not going to be using the US dollar for purchasing of oil anymore. They announced that at Davos. What's going to happen to the American dollar? That was the whole purpose of the American petrodollar, as many call it. Nixon, I believe, took it off the gold standard, put it onto the oil, and they made a deal with the Saudis. We'll protect you and do whatever you tell us militarily, but you got to sell your oil with American dollars, okay, or for American dollars. And that's why the American dollar is so strong, or a good portion of it. So any country that wanted to purchase oil from anybody needed American dollars. So if you're from the Philippines or you're from Africa or something, you needed US dollars or US currency to buy the oil from Saudi Arabia. It was kind of a Ponzi scheme, made the American dollar sought after. Okay, this is why it's so powerful of a currency. Now with the Saudi Arabians going to the Americans, we're going to see that dollar go bye-bye in purchasing power even more. Okay, so we could get to that 35,000 US by February, March, just because the dollar purchasing power of the dollar goes meh. And maybe the Russian ruble will be the big one for the next little while. So hopefully that answers your question. I think there's going to be a little bit of a dip. Okay. 3 cards on stock markets crash suddenly in March and April. They did crash the other day. They went down 500 points. One of my buddies at work, he keeps me in tabs on this sort of thing. It dropped 500 points. I walk into work. He goes, "There's blood in the streets." He's an older guy. Oh, really? Stock market dropped 500 points. So it's already happening. It's just a light crash. Okay. It's a it's a it's a comfortable crash, if you believe that. Anyways, 3 cards on the stock market in March and April. There's some white hat activity. I think it is on the way down, and it just has to be cushioned. And this is probably where we're going to start to see the new currency arrive. They're gonna they've done this in the past many, many times. They always reboot the system. It happened in 1930s crash. They didn't do it in 2008 though. Okay, so everything crashes. They put it on they reboot it, and everything starts to go back up gradually. Okay, and I think that's what's going to be happening in the next March, April. We're going to hear more of the currencies, especially the American currencies and all that, being backed by actual assets, not just oil. And they're going to have to, since Saudi Arabia went bye-bye, and Russia and China doing all the things that they're doing as well. So March and April are going to be interesting months. It's going to be coming down even more than it is already. Probably going to be affecting the bond market, okay, which is teetering. It's like a house of cards where you just need a good gust of wind. It all starts to fall down. I think at this moment in time, March and April, is when we're going to start to see the new commodity-based currencies start to pop up. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. Hi, I was told if you died as a baby or young that you would grow up in spirit, attending school, etc. What do you say? I have heard that. Well, if you're a new spirit, that could be a thing. You can go to school on the other side. Going to the Great Library in the middle of town. If you haven't been, you should try it. It's a lot of fun. With the librarians going, you can't touch certain books. You can only touch that book over there. The Akashic records, if you're wondering. But yeah, I do. Spirits or young that go back do go back to school. If you're an old soul like me, you probably go back as what you were. Okay. But if you're a new one, you probably go back and grow up on the other side. Okay. So hopefully that answers your question. Sadly, we were all wrong, and I was literally forced to move back to my home area last minute. I am here and feel better energetically, but still scared of the future. Why are you scared? Okay. Affirmations will help you. Try not to ever live in, we'll try it in English now. Never ever live in fear if you can. I know it's hard, but as my old kung fu teacher, never ever live in fear. Okay. Always try to make the best of what you have and move forward, never backwards if you can. Okay. Moving back to your home area, that's probably where you need to be to move forward with everything that you need to do to bring yourself into a better footing. Okay. And get things on track. We have to take actions to move everything forward. Okay? And do our videos and stuff, right? Who here would like Super Whittle Guy to do, what would you call it? A show with me? Say yes in the comments. What's that?
Co-host.
A co-host. or maybe his first show as an interview. That'd be an idea. Maybe I get interviewed, and that could be his getting his feet wet. That could be a good thing. So let's do the 3 cards for Super Whittle Guy. You could be the interview guy. That'd be cool. You are going to be taming this particular situation. We got that strength card right off the hop. Everything that you thought was going to be going your way is not going to be exactly going your way, but you're going to be taking what you are given and you're going to be running with it. Probably because you don't have any other choice. And sometimes that's the best way to go. When our back is against the wall and we don't know which way to move forward, that's when we become the most dangerous to anybody who's in our way, right? And using our new knowledge of affirmations and white light and creating with that white light, you can move forward in a good way, not harming anybody, never ever harm anybody. But you can use those abilities that we just learned today and move forward. And it'll help you with your fear. Okay? So just surround everything with light, white light. Allow universe to guide your hand and how to move forward. Okay? It is in the times that we're calm and cool, if you can, and centered, where we can come up with good plans. Never ever make a decision while in a heightened state of fear. Okay? It's the first lesson. Never ever do that. Okay? Only make decisions while being calm, cool, and centered. So you're going to have to try to find some way of centering yourself for the moment, catching your breath, and thinking through a plan. And that's basically what the cards are revealing right now, that you have this moment to take a breath. Okay. And then think about a plan for it. And you're going to be coming up with something super duper and start taking those actions that you need to do. Okay. We already discussed that. So hopefully that helps you out. What do we got next? Some say a bigger die-off starting in China is to come. Do you think this is true? Many analysts are showing that China has about 10 years left, okay, for their population, because they implemented a one-child thing, okay, and then the thing, which is going to be killing off more of the people. They thought this was going to solve their situation, but they're quickly finding out that you need all those people for our workforce to carry everything forward. Now, if all your younger people are falling and you're left with older people, it's more expensive to run things. Okay. So yeah, we're going to see more of a die-off in China because everybody was forced, actually with a gun to their head, to take the jab. It's a way different world in China than it is here in North America. And it's something you can put some white light around and help them out. The people are great. It's just their government's really, ugh. Okay. And that's most governments, in my opinion. Okay. So yes, that is something that's going to be coming up very, very soon. So the gray aliens are working for Source. That's a long discussion. There's a couple different variety of gray aliens. Some are robotic, biological robots that come here. Um, and there's another one that's actually a race um, that is working for the betterment of mankind. There's the Palladiums, which they're very much like us, but they're very glowy. There's many different alien races that are working for us, and then there's some that are working against us. Uh, but we have the Palladians protecting us from other aliens mostly. Okay. And yes, there are some gray aliens that are working for Source. Not all of them. Okay. Are the gray aliens or ETs part of the same consciousness as us? Uh, well, they all have souls like we do. They all get this. You were probably an alien at one time, in one lifetime. I know the wife was.
Yep.
I don't know if I was. Um, could have been. I'd have to go through that meditation again, see if I was an alien or a person from another planet. Uh, they do share the same soul source that we do. So, yeah, they would have the same consciousness as us. They may just have a different perspective of everything. We go and watching us going, hey, yeah, what are these people doing? Um, Along with their technology has grown to a certain point, probably their consciousness and their social structure is probably much different than we are at this moment in time. Okay, because their technology allows them to have different things and thinking and feeling about everything that's around them. Okay, so yes, short answer is yes. Is yes. Thank you for that. Hey, Andre, may I please get your insight into the man I'll marry? Okay. You haven't met them yet, I guess. Blonde. I do see that. It's the first thing that came to mind. Is blonde hair. At least it is right now. You think it's going to be taking a lot of this hard effort, okay, to find this person and all that sort of thing. It's actually going to be very easy if you allow it to happen. And using that stuff I just mentioned in the middle of the show, you can use it for that stuff too. Remember to focus on the things that you do want, not the stuff that you do not want. Okay, so using that and using the power of law of attraction, law of action, going out and meeting people, it will become much easy. He may seem a little foolish at times, kind of a thing. I do see blonde hair. I do see. Well, at the moment, it's blonde. It could be any color in the rainbow, let's say. But I think he's more of a free spirited kind of person who doesn't really plan anything. Okay. I'm thinking that you're more planned. So kind of your opposite in that sense. That's pretty much what I'm picking up about him. Okay. And blonde hair and carefree. Okay. Hopefully that helps you out. Will the list be revealed to the public? Visited Epstein Island? No. The consequences of that effort being released would be it would destroy everything that we know if that was released. Now I'm gonna throw some cards down just to make doubly sure. It would have to be long, long into the future for that to actually happen, because if that list did come out, okay, because a lot of these people are big business. So if those businesses fail, a lot of people go out of work. A lot of these people keep things rolling along. So if something ever happened to them, unfortunately, this is why we have to try to make a new decentralized companies, everything would fall flat on its face. I would like to see it come out, but because of a lot of these people that are on the list, if they were ever exposed, it would send our world in a tailspin. Okay, the after it'd be kind of a victory, but not. Okay, we've exposed it, and probably they probably already got the list, but they probably looked at it and go, "We can't release this." Okay, because we'd have every lawyer on our butt for one thing, and the legal fees would be so tremendous. It would be running through muck for many, many years. Just the legal stuff going that would happen. Okay. And it would make everything crumble. Because unfortunately, these people run all these businesses that we take for granted. And we probably could replace all these businesses fast enough to keep things rolling. Okay. Hopefully that answers your question. Methods on how to properly use white light. Um, it's not hard. It's not as hard as people think. Just creating white light is it's instantaneous. It's always around you. It's everywhere. So using white light, never put any negative energy into the white light. White light in itself is pure and bright and universal creation. Okay? You can use it for communicating between you and the universe. You can use it as a tool to heal something, like if my wrist was sore. Okay, you can grab a little white light, put it on there, think about the intention of getting that wrist healed up. My foot was sore the other day from a lot of walking. Put some white light on that. It seems to be okay now. If your friend is having a hard time, okay, there's the other rule. You can't control other people. The only person that you can control is yourself, but you can help them out. Throw some white light on them to help that process out. Because if it's something that they have to learn, go through the process, you don't want to take that away from them. Okay, especially if it's something hard. But that white light will help them go through that process a little easier. What else can we use white light for? Tons. World change. When you're going into a meeting that's a little tense, you can put white light around the area that you're going to be having the interview or whatever, the meeting. Make it a little easier for yourself because you're taking that action, right? You watch the news, you see negative things on there, throw some white light on that to help it resolve itself. Okay? There's tons of uses for white light. And the only properly thing would be don't use it in a negative way, which is hard, but
Or against someone's will.
What's that?
Or against someone's will.
Or against somebody's will. Okay? So, yeah, never try to, because then you're getting into black magic. You don't want that because there's karma. You want the dharma. Even if you have good intentions, never ever try to control other people. You cannot control other people. The only person that you can control is yourself. Okay? That's a big cardinal rule. And if you remember that every time you use it, you'll be good. Okay, what else we got? We're almost at the hour. 1.5 billion in BTC options expire tomorrow. Will that drive the price of BTC up or down? In a big way. So I think we're going to go down a little bit. I don't think it's going to be dropping huge, but I think it is going to be dropping a little bit. Okay. Let's just throw some cards on the subject. Or you can use that white light. Keep it up. Yeah, it's going to be dropping down a little bit. We got that 10 of wands, meaning that we're at the end of a cycle. So we're having that upspurt, and probably back to Bob Jobs' question from before. It's probably going to be dropping a little bit in the next little while. But I don't think it's going to stay there for much longer, that long. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. Jerome, how am I doing in my efforts? Good. I don't know what you're up to. I know, Jerome. We've known each other for quite some time. He always has a good heart. Always working hard. Well, let's look. Everything that you're doing right now is kind of the reverse of how you normally would do it. Go back to being the do it the way that you normally would do it. Don't try to be something else that you're not. Be the contrary that we know you are. I am a contrary. The wife's a contrary. And stop trying to be straight and narrow. It's not going to work out for you because it's going to keep you awake at night. Do what you know how to do it the way that you do it. Okay? And it'll work. Once you try to change yourself in that way where that you're not, it won't work. So just be you, be the best you can be, and it'll start to work. Okay? And use that white light in your rattle, and it'll be good. Okay? Thank you for that, Jerome. I did some meditation, but fell asleep. I woke myself up, and my buzzing I normally have was really loud when I woke up. What were you meditating on? If you're meditating to have a better connection to the other side and other people, the buzzing in your ear is probably them working on your ear so you can be clairaudient. So I knew another person that was a clairaudient, and they went through that process. And they had the buzzing in their ears while meditating, because your spirit guides are like, we got to get the right frequency in there. So I think that's going to be going for a little while until they find the right setting. Then you'll be good. Okay? Hopefully that helps you out. 3 cards. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I know I'm not a comedian. Okay. The thing that you were working on previously, it came up again. I do shuffle these. You think it's going to be a lot harder than what you figure is going to be, this thing that you're going through. I think I mentioned this to you before. It's not going to be as hard as you think it is. I think you're putting too much thought into the thing. But once you just start to take action, stop waiting for that perfection to happen, it will start to happen by just doing it. Um, and everything that you're hoping for will come about by taking the actions and stop thinking so much about the thing. Okay? That's kind of I know a lot of people who do that. They think too much and they don't act upon what they're thinking because they want it perfect. Mm, stop that. just start taking action. You'll be good. Okay? Hopefully that helps you out.
I have to add this.
I have a friend in banking, and he was told to get ready for a big event that will flip the system. He thinks it's an engineered crash of the financial system with the introduction of CBDCs March 15th. Yeah, I could see that happening. It's going to be on top of the XRP blockchain. I've known that for a while now. We know Brad may have met him too, one of the programmers for putting that in our banking system here in Canada. I don't know why they need a CBDC because us in Canada, we already use debit and credit a lot. It's very rare that people use cash. They can already turn us off, as we saw with the trucker convoy. Turn you off. It just means we should go more to cryptocurrencies. Okay? And get rid of this nonsense. You don't need this nonsense. More cryptocurrencies. You can actually use cryptocurrencies for your banking and pay all your bills and do all that sort of thing that you need to do. And just putting white light around that. I think this is going to be collapsing. It'll be put out there, but I don't think they're going to be actually taking action on it in a big way. They're not going to be turning it off everybody's bank, because then bankers will be afraid to go outside. I did see a story that there are some people already that are getting their bank accounts shut off. So stay nimble, get Bitcoin, and we'll get through this. Okay? Thank you for that, Brad. Now, just a reminder for next Sunday, we're going to have the remote viewing class. It's going to be a lot of fun. Do your homework. If you like a personal reading with me, make sure you go to secondreadingsbyandre.com. All that information is there. If you'd like to get a healing from my lovely wife, that's also on the secondreadingsbyandre.com. The tab is called Healing.
Healing with Yvonne.
Healing with Yvonne. Okay, so it's on there's a drop down menu, and it'll come down and it'll be one of the selections. So all that information is there as well for anyone needing a little bit of healing. Same payment methods and all that. Our bank accounts are the same, so I don't think I'm getting all the money. No, it's
It only goes to me.
I give it all to the wife, and she's happy with that. What else? If you like to protect your cryptocurrencies in the best possible way, make sure you go to secondreadingsbyandre.com, where we have an affiliate link to the Trezor affiliate link. If you should happen to purchase that or any of the other affiliate links on our website, know that we make a little bit of money from that. Okay. And with that, I guess that's the end of our show. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. It's always a pleasure having a great show with you guys. I'll be back here Saturday morning for the horoscope readings. So make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the future. Bye bye.
Bye.